tonight to talk a little bit about conflict. It was kind of cool because I just took a class on conflict resolution in college. I am fresh out of college, and there's something neat about going to college when you're an old lady because you recognize the Bible and all of it. It's like really cool. And so, who has an idea what conflict is? Any ideas? Like, what word comes to your mind when you think of conflict?
A problem.
Fighting.
Okay, problem, fighting.
Anger.
Anything else? Anger. Okay. Conflict isn't always negative. How could conflict not be negative, right? Well, nothing new comes about or occurs without some form of conflict. Everything new that occurs comes with a conflict of the old. And so there are just some Bible verses I'm going to go through in no particular order, but that have to do with what God has to say about conflict. Matthew 18:15 says, if your brother sins, go and show him his fault in private. Show him his fault in what?
Private.
Private, right. But if I do it in front of people and I'm right, then those people are going to be on my side and I'm going to win the conflict, right?
That's selfishness.
It is. Not only that, but it may damage a relationship. So you may win the conflict and damage the relationship in a way that will never be repaired. Think of that teacher that called you out in front of people and you never felt the same about her or him again. Was she right in doing so? Probably not. Did she make her point? Sure, she did it in front of the whole class. You'll never forget it. But you know what? You'll never like her. You'll never want to listen to her. And you certainly don't ever want to see her in the hallway again. So there are different conflict styles. When I'm talking about these, try to identify yourself because everybody has a different conflict style. Some are more effective than others. There's avoidance. Like, what conflict? I don't see anything wrong with this. Let's just keep rolling, you know? I mean,
Denial.
Pretty much, yes. Competing. This person is assertive and not cooperative with the idea that there's only one winner, and it's going to be me. Okay? Compromising. If no one is entirely happy with the outcome, each party gave up something or a little bit. This is the give and take, the compromising type. Like, all right, well, let's make a deal. All right? Accommodating. This is someone who might not know their own boundaries. They just give and give and give, and they just constantly give into the will of others. This is going to take a lot out of them. Collaborating. This is actually the best. This is where we combine resources and we say, what do we both have? Gifts, talents, resources to throw at this to make it better for everybody. This is where the conflict is seen as the enemy, not the other side. Do you know what I mean? See, the problem is the problem, not the other person as the problem. Okay, so there is, Proverbs 12:18 says, there is one who speaks rashly, like the thrust of a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. The tongue of the wise brings healing. Does it bring victory to the conflict? Does it mean if I'm wise, I'm going to win?
No.
No. It means that it brings healing to both parties. If both parties are allowed to participate in the conflict equally, then there's healing through it. Nobody gets hurt when it's over. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. Love is patient. I only have 9 minutes, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We could take each and every description of love in that particular scripture and apply it to some form of conflict, but we're not going to go through all that because it's a whole nother talk. However, saying I love you in the middle of a conflict, I can promise you changes things. Next time you're arguing with mom, dad, brother, sister,
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
okay, boyfriend, girlfriend, just smack dab in the middle of the conflict, say I love you.
And it stops the fight.
I promise you the look on their face is going to be like, what?
Like a guilt trip.
What'd you just say? Don't do it with your teacher. It'll freak him out. Not a good idea. However, there are other ways we can say I love you in a conflict. Other ways to bring love into the conflict. What is another way that we can say I love you while in an argument or a disagreement with someone?
I care about you.
Okay. There
I
we
like
go.
you.
I do this
A
before.
hug? Awesome. How about,
Help him.
I understand you.
No.
I hear you. I value your opinion or your thoughts on this,
I do this because.
I get what you're saying.
right? I am committed to resolving this in a way that honors both of us. Yes?
I like that.
Okay. Jesus spoke with love and truth at eye level with
Give me a
everyone.
bear.
Jesus never talked down on anyone. He always either got down to their level or brought them up to his eye level. When we are in conflict with people and we're talking to them at eye level or saying things to elevate them or to calm ourselves or bring ourselves back down to their level, we are bringing love, the love of Jesus, into that conflict. It is going to heal both of you. Sorry, lost my spot. All right, Leviticus 19:18. You shall not take vengeance nor bear any grudge against the sons of your people, but you shall love your neighbors as yourself. I am the Lord. Okay, so is it possible to love yourself and to love the other side?
Yes.
Sure?
Well, to love
No.
yourself and love God, yes.
Love your
Right.
neighbor
But
as you
not
love
the devil.
thyself.
Okay, exactly.
But not the devil.
So we're not measuring here. If we're in conflict, we're trying to come up with a solution, not necessarily measuring who is deserving of more love. It's possible to love yourself and the other side, and loving yourself includes giving yourself the flexibility of compromise, not just being dedicated to winning every conflict. Extending that open-mindedness that you're loving yourself with gives flexibility to everybody you encounter as well. Hebrews 12:15, see to it that no one comes short of the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springing up causes trouble. Does that mean roll over and play dead every time there's a conflict because
No.
No.
you don't want to be the bad guy?
Don't say the last word either.
Right. The reason we can be in relationship with God is because he listens to us. So the only way we are going to accomplish any relationship with anybody else is to listen. Right? Okay. Not listening definitely causes trouble.
Makes the matter worse.
Yes, absolutely. We'll never fully be worthy of the grace of God, but the best way to feel it is to extend it to others. He always does that, and maybe that's why he never runs out of that grace. Did you ever meet that person who is just always full of grace? Always, just goes into conflict like, it's okay, we're gonna make it better, like a fairy godmother, and you're like, oh my gosh, how does that person do that? Like, why isn't she freaking out? Why isn't she name calling? Why isn't she throwing things? I'd be throwing things. It's because that person has grace and brings grace into all conflict because she's getting it from an unlimited source, which is God. John 13:34. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another even as I have loved you. You also love one another. Jesus was God's way of speaking to us at eye level. Not above us, not below us, but getting on our level and teaching us how to do these things. So when we all see the wrongs of others, God will point ours out to us. And you know what? It sucks. It does. It hurts. It takes a piece of us. It takes a chunk of us. And the only way that we can get that chunk back sometimes and become whole again is to extend that grace again to others. And conflict is actually, believe it or not, a really good place to do that. So actually, you can embrace conflict because it's not necessarily a negative thing. And that's all I got, folks.
Here, here.